How they do much better. Why and how? Because we go into the deeper problem. Knowledge is necessary, but how to use it? How to react to the question when the time comes? For that, a little bit of training, because I don't know now in IIT they are doing, whether it was not good, I don't know now. But in our university, Amala University, we are doing it, so we are 100% placement. 100% placement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very valid point. I mean, obviously, that's one of the initiatives we are taken up as the. Sure.
Just very quickly, a little bit of an anecdote. 2 years ago, my department, I'm in civil engineering, appointed me as a public speaking coordinator for the students. Right? So they said, you got to sort of, that was my mandate. And we set the first meeting, and the HOD ordered all the students to come. So we had our entire hall full. And I said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to sort of have small topics, we're going to talk to each other and critique each other, etc., etc. And we'll meet every other Tuesday at 5 o'clock. It's voluntary. So from the next meeting, HOD will have absolutely nothing to say about it. The second meeting, out of 90 people in the first meeting, 8 landed up. The third meeting, there were 2. Right? So I think one of the things is, it's both sides. I think on the one hand, I think we need to be making more efforts in actually holding these kinds of sessions, but I think also there should be a realization on the other side that such things are important. And I think we have gaps on both sides. So we've got to find a way of bridging from both directions rather than just increasing supply when demand doesn't exist or the other way around. And I think that's the difficulty of the problem, which is why we're not repeatedly after discussions, we're not able to solve it, although we realize that it exists.
Okay. Thanks, Ashwin. We're desperately. Okay. Last final question. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Mike.
The JEE, the basic system is something going a tail. The fact is the condition for the student getting into IIT at the age when you get it as 6th standard or 8th standard. 8th standard. So what is happening is this poor boy, for 5 years he's reading for JEE, and he has a lot of residual magnetism in him. So what is happening is it is pushing him for the next 2 years. This is a 4 years course, BE or BTech, whatever we have. So this 2 years, it is pushing him with that residual. The parent has, almost brainwashed him or something like that. So we have this IIT has only 2 years left out for him to make him a manager or whatever it is. So we need to change that. The basic route is there only. He is telling that NIT guys are doing well. Probably this is the main cause now. So this is my experience, what I've seen with all the children who are coming up right now. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody would like to add on to what he said? Okay.
I can add one point here. We've had some VCs who ask us questions to promote IIT, ideas on the education front. So my question to them is, do you want to they got a program in the US called No Child Left Behind, which means they want to make sure everybody gets up there. But so the question I pose to them is, are you wanting to impart more knowledge, or are you trying to improve the scores? These are two completely different things. We here in IIT, the fellows who got in through the JEE are very competitive racehorses. We know how to test. We know how to get in there. I cannot say I was the most knowledgeable person, because we studied in a very narrow zone so that we could score the maximum number of marks. There were particular chapters we completely dropped. We didn't even read them. We said, no, I wasted our time on something which is unlikely, because we have a group and we were doing pattern testing that, what are the kind of questions that come? You know what, in optics, that question will never come. Don't bother about it. That's a fact. Everybody in IIT did that. So therefore, we were racehorses. We were not the most knowledgeable people. So, and this is a situation that's taking place all over the world, that the fellows who get ahead are the guys who are best at testing, not the most knowledgeable guys.
Okay.
Reforming JEE is just a hot potato. I don't know if it's going to happen. No, but there's some low-hanging fruit for curriculum reform that can be done. Okay, for the practical knowledge aspect, mandatory internship program. Okay, then
Post the next session. I would definitely continue the discussion there. We'll also create a discussion forum through our governing council and the mentoring program, where we will get.
From students.
Can I ask a question? Hi. First, I wanted to thank you all for letting us be here. 2 American students, and I think there's another one over here, and a German student. So it's been a pleasure to. And I guess there's been kind of this reoccurring theme of the need for leadership and for creative. What you believe IIT's responsibility is for providing these skills, and obviously, this discussion is here. So I feel like you do believe that it's part of IIT's responsibility. And my question for you is, do you really believe that by providing students with a finishing school class or certain classes in people skills where the system is still in place where they're individually competing for a highest score to continue on to a global market? Or is it really an issue of the system? And is it a matter of rethinking how these students are learning and how they are accepted into the school and what their priorities really are? And does IIT have the ability to instill these values on the students once they're here? And if so, how do you believe that really will be done?
Okay. Anybody? Quick, one-line answer.
One-line answer.
Thanks everyone. We have really reached, apologies, drop dead time. Thanks for all of you for participating. Thanks for the panelists. I think it's time for us to also thank we have got some nice t-shirts from the mentoring group. So we would like our GC members, Vishy, Professor Nagarajan, Bhaskaran and Ramesh, if you are around, you can just come up and hand over t-shirts. And Raj,
Yes.
And we would also like to have Raj on stage and hand over the t-shirts.
Yeah, okay, Raghavan, go ahead. While they are doing that, we do need the quorum signature for the AGM, so before you leave, there are people sitting there, just go and sign your presence here so we can show who all attended the AGM. Thank you.